What's up guys, Twizted always here, and today we're doing a Nintendo Switch analysis. We're gonna blast through this as fast as possible, so let's get started. Alright guys, first things first for the Switch, our release date simultaneously worldwide is March the 3rd, 2017. Price-wise, we're looking at $299 US, which is 29,980 yen. And for Europe, they did not give a specific price. They just said to contact your local retailer. Moving on to two pretty big matters are the Nintendo Online service, which sounds like PlayStation Plus, but for Nintendo. And Nintendo is also finally getting rid of region locking, which means you can buy an Australian game and play it in America. It's all the same, you don't have to worry about it anymore. So with the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo wanted to introduce something from every generation. They wanted to have two controllers from the family computer. The Game Boy Advance was completely portable, so they wanted to try that as well. And of course, the Super Nintendo had the X and Y buttons and your L and R buttons. Your Nintendo 64 had an analog stick and was also the first console to ever introduce the rumble feature. And of course, with Nintendo being ahead of its time, the GameCube had a handle so you could take it to your friend's house and travel with it. Just take it anywhere, essentially, is what they wanted you to do. The DS was the first console to offer a touchscreen, and the Wii was groundbreaking, offering the Wii Remote as motion controller, whereas the Wii U just offered the ability to play on and off the TV while being in the same room or separate rooms. So Nintendo has integrated everything because they want us all to play in different ways. So to get a closer look at the Switch itself, it shows that the Switch is the tablet part. Your dock is what you sit it in that has an HDMI cable. Your Joy-Con grip is a Pro controller, more or less, that you will be using when you play your Switch on the TV. Now, of course, we know when your Switch comes out, you can take it and play it on the go. Your Joy-Con grip comes apart to have a Joy-Con right and a Joy-Con left. You can slide those onto your Switch to make it a portable console. You can also sit it down and use those as separate controllers. So we have TV mode, which is of course where you will have your Switch in the dock and you will be playing with your Joy-Con grip. You can also play with a Pro controller if you prefer. Tabletop mode is where the Switch itself is on its kickstand and you are playing with your Joy-Cons separately, which means you can play by yourself or you can play with a friend. You can share the joy. Handheld mode, you just slide your Joy-Cons and a nice little click into it, and you can take it anywhere. Battery life does vary. When you play and give a Joy-Con controller to your friends, Nintendo is referring to this as sharing the joy. So your battery life changes depending on the game. It ranges from 2.5 to 6.5. The Japanese kanji below shows that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is 3-hour battery life. You charge it with a USB Type-C. And we get a small look at the interface right here. Very slick. And then one of my favorite features is, of course, it is connected through Wi-Fi, but you have local multiplayer. Up to 8 consoles can connect. Also, you can have 8 controllers connect, which means you can have wireless LAN parties. So a closer look at the controller. This is the Joy-Con grip with the Joy-Con slid in on each side. Of course, they snap off very easily. And you have these 2 separate controllers that can be used as, of course, 2 controllers or as one for one game in tablet mode. And of course, you have your left and right, your plus, your minus, your X, Y, B, A, and your D-pad is no longer a D-pad. It's separate buttons so that it can be a separate controller. Analog stick on each, and of course, the analog sticks are buttons. On your right, you have an NSFW to scan amiibo and a home button as well. One extremely cool feature about the Joy-Cons is when you share them, of course they turn into controllers, but they actually have an SL and an SR button, so you have your bumpers. Nintendo decides to show us a little magic trick, and the Joy-Cons actually come in neon blue and neon red, which are actually 2 suiting colors for Nintendo. And then another magic trick, and we get the wrist straps, which are actually really cool because not only are they easy to just slide on like normal, but they actually turn your Joy-Cons into an old school SNES controller without the D-pad. You just have the analog stick instead. These controllers still have motion control, so you can still use that in games, which is awesome because of the new features that they have. This is just showing that there are different color wrist straps to match your controllers. What we have here is the fact that the controller can detect the difference between rock, paper, and scissors. And it can also tell the difference between how close or how far away you are from the controller. In Nintendo's own way, they wanted to show that they are introducing what they call HD Rumble. So this is showing that he can tell that there's a piece of ice in this glass. And then they start adding ice cubes in. Supposedly the rumble, like, you can tell. So now he says that he can tell there's 2, and then there's 3, and then they add water. So I'm not really 100% sure how the rumble lets you feel, if it's just slightly subtle. But since Nintendo did basically introduce rumble, I'm gonna leave it in their hands and trust them. And in classic Nintendo fashion, they have to show that they have the best controller and that it is basically the center of the universe. The first game we get a look at is a game called 1-2 Switch. It is basically the party game for the Switch, basically our Wii Sports. And essentially you let the TV talk and you listen, but you look at the opponent. So you have to live through the eyes of your opponents and detect when they're going to attack and stuff like that. It actually looks like a pretty fun game. And because it's a Switch, you can literally take it to parties because, you know, it's a Switch. You can take it anywhere. And the next game we get a look at is a game that looks similar to Punch-Out at first, but it is actually a game that looks very different. It's called ARMS. So essentially it is a boxing fighting game where your characters have springs for arms and you can change out their fists to different weapons, and just by slightly punching and then turning, you can curve your punches. The characters are colorful, it looks amazing, It looks super fun as well. Check out some videos on this. The next game to be announced is Splatoon 2. Never played the first one, but seeing this and seeing how fun it looks makes me want to go back and play the first one on my Wii U. Not only because it looks super fun, but because I want to see how much they have improved when this one comes out. This one, however, has a summer release date, so this will not be a launch title. And on that note, we switch to a game that everyone's been looking forward to, whether they realize it or not, and that is the brand new Super Mario game. At first, it looks a little different because of this New York City-esque city that you are in, but I'm going to have a more in-depth analysis of this trailer on my channel this upcoming week, so look out for that. This is created by the people that made Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine, so this is the first sandbox Mario we're getting since Sunshine, and it looks amazing. I'm so excited for this. However, we do have to wait a little longer. This has a holiday release for this year, so this one we're going to have to wait a little longer for, but I'm excited. Bowser looks fabulous in his tuxedo. Mario can bounce off of his freaking hat. And the little secret that they wait to show until the very end is, it's called Super Mario Odyssey, but Mario's hat is alive in this. Another series I have never touched on is the Xenoblade Chronicles series. I've never played the first one or X that came out for the Wii U, but this trailer actually makes me want to go back and play them. I'm a huge RPG fan, so I'll probably go back and play them just before this. There is no solid release date other than that it should be out in 2017. Koei Tecmo jumps in immediately after and announces Fire Emblem Warriors. Not 100% sure what it is, but on January 18th, Nintendo is doing an entire little live stream specifically for this so we can learn more about it. Nintendo third-party support is through the roof. You can see those right there. There are currently 80 games in development. I am super excited for that. Hopefully we'll see a Donkey Kong, an actual Pokemon, Mario Party, and a Monster Hunter. I never actually played Monster Hunter, but you never know. And then immediately after, we have Square basically jumping out and saying, hey, Dragon Quest X and Dragon Quest XI is coming to the Switch, as well as Dragon Quest Heroes both 1 and 2, but at the moment it seems like they're Japan only, so hopefully we'll all get them. So the next 3 games are literally back-to-back rapid fire, but we get a new tease at a very early stage of Shin Megami Tensei, and then Square Enix decides to announce their new RPG that they have this weird project name for it, and it throws everyone off. It's called Project Octopath Traveler. And then Todd Howard shows his beautiful face and announces Skyrim for the Switch. Who doesn't want a Skyrim that you can literally take anywhere? Mind you, Skyrim is a very demanding game. I'm expecting 2.5-3 hours as well on this one for the battery life. So during the sizzle reel at the end of the conference, I do want to say that the storage is basically micro SD storage. So they had a 256 gigabyte today to January 13th on Treehouse Live. So I'm guessing you can kind of pick and choose. There is a capture button. I'm pretty sure it was the square button on the left Joy-Con, and that is your share button. And you can share, but at the moment it is only screenshots. But they did say that we will get video eventually. So for $299, what do you get? You get the Switch, of course. You get your Joy-Con left and right because they are the two controllers. You get 2 wrist straps for your controllers. You get the Joy-Con grip as well. And then, of course, you get your Nintendo Switch dock. It also comes with your AC adapter and your HDMI cable. However, if you want a Nintendo Switch Pro, those are sold separately. If I'm not mistaken, I checked the website and they are $79.99 US dollars. You can get the bundles in neon red and neon blue Joy-Cons or just the regular slate gray Joy-Con. So at the end of the conference, we still have not heard anything about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. However, Reggie shows his beautiful face and essentially confirms that his body is ready to give us a release date until they troll us until the very end. They say, watch this trailer. So I'm going to let you guys watch the trailer and tell me what you think in the comments below. I will have a more in-depth analysis on this trailer. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
The history of the royal family of Hyrule is also the history of the Calamity Ganon, a primal evil that has endured over the ages.
Face tells me that you have no recollection of me, however.
I think you are now ready to hear what happened 100 years ago.
Everything I've done up until now, it was all for nothing.
her, my daughter.
Open your eyes.